Hello everybody and welcome back to Eiersholt. As you will have seen from the little flyover, I got a new cow stable. We are also down to 80,000, so I didn't go for the half €500,000 model after all. I found a different one that cost us about 150,000, so I think that's kind of okay. It's got room for 300 cattle. So the first thing we're gonna get done this morning is we're gonna get some cows shifted over into it. I'm gonna keep both stables, keep them both producing, and gradually grow the herd. We got good amounts of silage and of hay, so we should be able to keep up with the mixed feed. So obviously we do need to get this stable cleaned out, and the other one I put a single cow in it just to test how everything was working, so we can park up over here by the shed for now, so we're not in the way when we start moving the truck around. But let's have a quick look here first. So yeah, central feeding aisle there, gates here for unloading the animals. I think I've left the other gate open up there. I better sort that out at some point, but not right now. So back down here we'll get we got our slurry point, and manure is appearing here, so that's all good. And if we open up in here, so we can see there's a straw area. It's a little bit tight getting in. Definitely don't need a bigger tractor than what we already got. So we can see there is a bale still lying in here, because obviously with just the one cow didn't need very much. There is access to a kind of outdoor walk space area here, and then I don't know if we actually get cows over here or when it's only when it fills up, but I kind of like the model. It's a large barn. There's a good amount of space. The only thing, if there was anything that I should be complaining about, is that this gate does not seem to open. So it's not like I can drive through with the feeding. I kind of have to go down around the building, which is why we do have a path here. There's a bit of water here since it rained last night. So we'll have to come up the center aisle and then kind of pull back out again when we do the feeding. But so I probably should have turned it around the other way or something. I am thinking about whether I should have a road here as well, so you can kind of go around in a circle. But for now, we'll see how we get on. First thing, we got a cattle trailer out. Yesterday I took 3 bulls up to the animal dealer and sold them off. There were only 3 in the whole collection of 120 over there. But I reckon we'll try and get, so we have close to 120 cattle over here in the existing barn. We're not going to empty it completely. We are going to take probably about half, I would say. Just need to get close enough to the trigger here. There we go. So I guess I should try and mix it up a little bit so that it's not all perhaps young cattle. On the other hand, if I stuck young cattle over there, then I'll just be producing milk in the one barn to begin with, so that might actually be simple. Let's see how many young ones we have that are kind of below the age of a year here. Yeah, we're already coming into older ones that will be fertile as well. So I think we're just gonna keep piling in as many as we can. There we go. That's 90, so I got room for about 20, 25 or something like that. But we are now just gonna find the animal trigger. I think it's that gate right there that I left open, if I remember rightly. So it's either that or it's the other end of that particular shed. We'll have to have a look. Let's see if I can find it again and get our new cattle unloaded. And then obviously we need to make sure they get some water and everything. There we go. It was here. We can get some cows moved in. As you can see over on the right hand side of the screen there, we got room for 300 and we now got 31. So I'm gonna get one more load mover over. That way we'll have about 60 cows in each, and then we can just keep an eye. We can always fill over but I don't think with 60 left in the old stable, that should be okay. It's not gonna fill up anytime soon with new cattle, I think. That is, if I can get this trailer turned in without hitting the silage bunker or the shed right next to it. I can't complain. I built the farm myself. It's a little bit tight around there. So we can already start seeing cows moving around in the barn. That's quite nice. So they got a pass-through area there. That's why I guess those gates don't open, which is pretty good. Looks good. So the one thing I have to check is if you need to put straw down in separate areas or whether it's just that one area. I suspect it's just the one area, but we'll find out in a second. Then we better get this gate closed again here, like so. We're not going to have our cattle running away in the middle of everything. So I better get the feed in and the water. So we'll get our John Deere T5 here and a feed mixer filled up to begin with, and see how much they take. They will need some corn since we don't have sugar beet yet. We'll feed them on corn. We still got quite a bit of that in the silo, so I'll probably fill our small grain trailer. So you might have noticed that it looks like this trailer is lifted quite high. That is because I've also got a weight on the back of this tractor, because it tips quite easily if you load up bales or something like that with it. So I tend to keep a weight on the back, and that is what the trailer is mounted on here, which makes it lift up. I guess technically speaking I should take it off, but right now just want to make sure we get some food in for our new barn here. And the other barn will need topping up as well, but it's not as urgent since they've got some feed in there and we've just halved the population in there. So basically, to feed, we just drive up. Technically speaking, I guess you don't even have to drive up. The trigger kind of registers just at the end there, but I think for a little bit of realism, good to drive up and fill in a little bit. The only thing is I will have to reverse out, of course. So I need to run some water for them as well. Pop out and run the tap. So there's a watering point here, sort of in that water barrel. So I stuck it in there so that it's auto feeding, generally speaking. So there we go. Water is running. What are you doing there? Stick your head back in. Well, certainly got plenty of cows all of a sudden. The bale has disappeared, which is perhaps not entirely surprising, given that we are looking at a lot of cows now. So I guess I might leave one stable to produce manure and one stable to produce slurry. So here we are at our big cow barn. Water is still running up. There's some straw in here, but we'll let that run out. So we're pretty full up on most foods here. Already producing milk and slurry. Water still running in from the tap. I'll take a little while to fill. And I need some corn and some sugar beet, but we can check our other cow stable. Generally, there's lots of food in there now, but it needs cleaning out, and then we'll start laying in straw in that barn and use that one for producing some manure as well. So we are going to use our trailer over here. I moved it out of the way because we needed to get in to load up the cows. It looks like there are more eggs from the chickens. Got a couple of boxes there, so since we are a little bit lower on money now, I think we're gonna take down the eggs to the point where we get a good price for them, and get some of those sold. It won't be a ton of money, but we also got some straw pellets still sitting in storage, so we want some corn. There we go. We still have 238,000 liters from the last harvest sitting in here. I never got around to selling it. That's a good thing now, I reckon. We're probably going to keep most of this for feed now. So I'll start by heading up through our original barn, and then the new barn, and then we'll finish off with the chickens. So it's quite handy. You can actually just park here and tip as well. That will be convenient from time to time. That took quite a bit more. So let's just have a look. Big cow barn, corn 3,000. Yeah, we had some in the other stable already, which is why it didn't take as much. So apart from straw, that's us full up. Green bars everywhere on this one. We still need to clean the other one and put straw in. So we'll see, how much do I need? Maybe I probably only need 2 bales or something like that, but as you can see, there are still plenty in the shed here. Yeah, so we still have 288, well, 286. Now that we take a couple out here, we'll bring them in and get them cut open and spread out for our cattle. I think it'll need more than one, so I'll have to go back and pick up the second one, I suspect. But drop this one off first. Oh god, yeah. That, let's have a look. Oh, that's still about close to half, I would say. So putting the second bale in for now will do. It might not fill it to 100%, but it will fill it enough for today, and then I can always put in a couple more later on. So I'll be interested to see how much slurry can be held in the other barn. It doesn't look like a big slurry tank, but it could be underground, of course, so it might actually have a high capacity. If it doesn't, we do have the 2 overflow tanks sitting down the back of this stable here, and we have the Garant trailer, so it's not going to be a big problem to occasionally pump over some slurry. Oops, did I not get that, or has it filled up? Yeah, so it only needed 6,000 liters, so we have a little bit of a spare bale sitting here now. We'll leave it here for now and let it get consumed during the day. So let's see, we have 2 full stacks sitting here, each with 600 liters in it. This one over here has 358, but we're going to take everything we got here now and load it into this box here, and then we're going to bring it all down and get it sold. The number of chickens in the in the barns is still growing. It has capacity of 500. We're up to about 370 out of the, I think it was 150 we brought over. So actually that's pretty decent. So here we go. Now we've got 519 liters in that one. So we're going to put all 3 of these up in the back of our truck here. And then I'm going to find out where we can sell these. I know we can sell them at the campsite. But just want to see where we're going to get a decent price. So the campsite is still giving us the best price for the eggs. And it's a shorter drive at the same time than having to head over to the supermarket. So that's decent enough. It's not going to be a ton of money. That's about 1,700 liters of eggs here across the 3 boxes. So a little bit more than, so we'll get 3,000-4,000 euros in total here, which is okay. We haven't spent a lot on the chickens. We just brought over the ones we had. They don't take a huge amount of feed, so from that perspective it's great. And this road feels so much nicer now that we got these branches cut away and got some gravel down. It's starting to feel like our farm estate is getting a little bit better organized now, I think. It's such a lovely little place tucked away on the map here, but very detailed when you get into it, although obviously we're just selling eggs right up at the entrance here to begin with. So it looks like I will have to lift them out, but that's okay. Not exactly a huge amount of... Oh, there we go. Like that. And we'll bring in... This is the one that isn't completely full. But still... Oh, I didn't... Oh, and see now they're transferring between each other. No, I think we're okay. We got it all sold now. There was just a little bit left. And sometimes if these boxes stand too close together, they kind of start transferring to each other. So I'm trying to make sure I just keep it here to get sold. So 2,900 there. Excellent. So yeah, all in all, we made actually quite a decent amount of money there. We were on 81,000, I think it was. So actually made it close to 7,000. That's pretty good. Get this out of the way of the camping guests, of course. So, time to head back to the farm. It is already 10:30 in the morning, but we got cows sorted out. We got eggs sold. We're making progress. There isn't a ton of field work to contend ourselves with right now. I think all the fields have been sprayed off for weeds as well. So we'll just have to... I want to bring up some hay to the feed mixer so that we kind of keep the TMR topped up. Now that we're going to be using 2 stables for the cows, it will start demanding a little bit more, but I feel quite confident that we can keep up. We actually had too many supplies, I think, for the 120 cattle. As we can see on the plant here, we still have 420,000 liters of grass that can get dried out, and we now have the 39,000 liters of alfalfa hay, although we weren't really trying to make a lot of alfalfa hay. We still have part of the field from last episode of alfalfa that wasn't cut. I still want to try and make that into bales and sell it instead. But right now, we still have wet crops, so right now, that's no good. I might have to wait till mid or late summer instead. See if we get a good drying period. But we'll get some hay tipped into the feed mixer. And I need to check on how we're doing for straw as well. So we've got quite a lot of straw, 138,000 litres in there, so that's the one that gets taken the least off. So even with adding 2 trailerfuls of hay here, we're not going to be running out of straw while the mixer is filling up. There's only capacity for 500,000 litres of TMR, so the plant should cut out at some point when it has filled the tank for the mixed feed. So it does take a little while, obviously, for the dryer to run through and process more grass. But right now, these 2 loads will do us just fine. Do need to try and get all these trailers back in the shed as well, but I'll do the tidying off screen, so you don't have to watch me trying to reverse a whole bunch of trailers tightly into a shed. But we will put this trailer back now, and then we'll get the Merlot and take down a pallet of firewood to our sell point down by the road. Safe and sound, back in the shed. Right, time to hop over into our rather worn looking Merlot. Repair wise it's okay. It just got a bit mucky when we had it down putting fertilizer into our cedars out in the actual field. I think I'm just going to grab the nearest full one here. Once again, my amazing parking skills have kind of put myself right. The good thing is I can adjust the width on these tines here, so should be good, as long as I need to spread them out a little bit again. As long as I drive careful, we should hopefully be okay. So there's 3,000 litres of wood here, so it's not humongous amounts of wood we're dealing with, but it brings us in a little bit of extra income now and then. As people buy a bit, I guess here in summer season, it's not exactly going to be a lot unless people are having bonfires along with their barbecues perhaps, or something like that. But the road feels a bit smoother and easier to go down now that we've got the gravel on, so that's all good. We got 12,000, but that is the shed full up again now, so shouldn't expect to be able to sell some for a little while, but that has actually brought us back up over 100,000 euros sitting in the bank. So I'm a little bit more relaxed about the idea now of maybe getting a mower and a tether and a liner, or whether we just lease them to try and create some alfalfa bales. The crop has gone dry now, but I don't think that drying conditions are very good. Once we are back up in the shed, we'll have a little look at our weather forecast to see if there's any immediate scope for starting to think about making alfalfa hay. So here's our forecast. Actually, it is pretty good conditions. But I think we're a little bit too late in the day now to try and start, because we kind of, by the time we actually got everything cut, I think it will take too long. And we got some sunny periods coming up. Saturday is looking good, and there's at least no forecast rain until the Monday. So I think we will leave it till midsummer to try and make some alfalfa hay bales. I have no idea whether it's a good earner, but that's it. We got cows moved. We got a few things sold. We kind of bolstered the bank balance a little bit again, and I think I can go down to the house, right by the back path here. Maybe use a bit of firewood, light ourselves a bit of a fire, and have a barbecue lunch. So that's it for this episode here on Eiersholt. Thank you very much for stopping by, and see you again soon.